Van Diemen, the father of American surveillance. A ruthless data collector who used waterboarding, undercover cops, and other tips to build a network of data on anti-US Filipino freedom fighters. The United States government used this data, as well as military superiority, to crush the original waves of Filipino rebellions. Those rebellions, which started with angry priests and one man, their leader, Emilio Aguinaldo. Before we get to the anti-US Filipino rebellion, we have to get to the anti-Spanish Filipino rebellion, which used the United States in the Spanish-American War to get rid of the tyrannical rule of their Spanish dictator. Aguinaldo created a new society of rebellious individuals to overthrow the tyrannical Spanish government. Their ranks grew quickly. One day, information leaked about their long-planned rebellion, forcing them to act prematurely. The rebellion ended temporarily, with the Spanish paying compensation and making legal reforms, while Aguinaldo and some of his fellow leaders were exiled. Suddenly, the Spanish-American War broke out, leading to Aguinaldo's return to the Philippines from exile. He led his troops alongside the American ones to defeat the Spanish. At the revolution's final battle, the Americans went behind the Filipinos' backs to make a peace deal with the Spanish, where the Spanish would fake a final battle with the Filipinos and the Americans, but easily surrender the city of Manila to American control. In return, the Americans would not let a single Filipino into the city. The Americans would later purchase the Philippines for $20 million. In 1901, some American generals pretended to be prisoners, surprised Aguinaldo, and captured him, forcing him to call off the rebellion. Of course, it was too late. The ball was already rolling and too fast. The war continued as United States military action on the island pacified. But on one island, an army detachment from the United States killed everyone on the island over the age of 10. The insurrection was declared over. The war had ended, but resistance continued for years. In the end, 4,000 American troops died. 20,000 Filipino troops died, and an unknown number of civilians were killed. In 1935, the Commonwealth of the Philippines was created with U.S. approval, electing Manuel Quezon as its first president. In 1942, during the Second World War, Japan invaded the Philippines, as they needed more natural resources to fuel their army. When Japan lost the war, the Philippines were given back to the United States. Their full independence was eventually granted in 1946. This has been Philippines Independence.